Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about the most fearsome children of Loki. Before we get started, just wanted to give a big shout out to our community. Now let's dive right into today's topic. Now you may know Loki as the god of mischief, the trickster of Norse mythology, a god who is loved by many but also feared by many. He was known for his cunning intellect, shape-shifting abilities, and love for causing chaos among the Norse gods. But what many may not know is that Loki had secret children who were destined to bring doom upon the whole Norse pantheon. Yes, you heard that right. In today's video, we're going to uncover the truth behind Loki's secret children, their powers, their significance in Norse mythology, and how they were a constant reminder of the impending doom that awaited the Norse gods. Now, before we dive into the details, let me just say that some sources claim that Loki only had 2 children, while other sources say that he had 5 children. We will be discussing all 5 children in this video, but if you want to learn more about the 2 main children of Loki, then check out our previous video on them. Alright, now let's meet Loki's secret children. The first child that we have to talk about is Hel. She was the daughter of Loki and the goddess Angerboda. When Odin heard that Loki and Angerboda had a child together, he became worried. So he went to see them and offered them a deal. If Loki gave him Hel, he would take care of her. And if he gave him Fenrir, he would raise him as his own. Loki agreed to this deal, not knowing that Odin actually planned on killing both children. When Odin took Hel, he threw her into the depths of the underworld. As she fell, she cried out, and the land that caught her named her Hel after the word for the dead. Hel then became the ruler of the underworld. It said that half of Hel's body was beautiful and radiant, while the other half was rotten and full of worms. This symbolized that when a person died, half of their soul went to Hel, while the other half went to Folkvang, which was ruled by Freya. Although Hel was destined to rule the underworld, she played a role in the prophecy of Ragnarok, the end of the world in Norse mythology. You see, during Ragnarok, it was foretold that Hel would rise from the underworld and lead an army of the dead against the living. Some sources say that Odin sacrificed his own son, Hermod, to Hel in order to buy time and prevent Ragnarok from happening. However, this was in vain, because ultimately Hel would lead her army and destroy everything in sight. The next child we need to talk about is Fenrir. As I mentioned earlier, Odin took Fenrir from Loki and promised to raise him as his own. But Odin knew that Fenrir was destined to grow so big that he would devour the sun. So Odin chained him up with special chains called Dromi. Each time Odin tightened the chains, Fenrir would growl and shake them off. Odin tried this 8 times, but each time Fenrir managed to break free. On the 9th try, Odin used his magical belt of strength and was able to hold Fenrir down. Fenrir struggled so hard that his nails dug into the ground and created deep marks. These marks are said to be the same ones that will appear in the sky during Ragnarok, marking the return of the big, bad wolf. During Ragnarok, it's said that Fenrir will break his chains, grow to an enormous size, and devour both Odin and his son Thor. Then Fenrir will tear apart the whole Norse pantheon and eat them. Moving on, we have to talk about Jormungandr, also known as the Midgard serpent. Jormungandr was the son of Loki and Angerboda, and was destined to become so large that he would encircle the whole earth. When Odin heard about this, he took Jormungand and threw him into the ocean to be raised by the fish. However, Odin didn't count on the fact that Jormungand would grow to be so big that he would eventually drag the whole sea to the bottom of the ocean. One day, Thor came across Jormungand and decided to fish him out of the water. He pulled and pulled, but the serpent was so heavy that Thor could only pull him up to the surface long enough for him to see the land before dragging him back down into the depths. During Ragnarok, though, Jormungand will break free from his watery prison and fight Thor. Thor will kill the serpent, but not without being poisoned by its blood. Thor will carry Jormungand over his shoulder and walk around the earth 3 times before collapsing and dying from the poison. All right, moving on, we have to talk about one of Loki's lesser-known children. Sleipnir is another one of Loki's children and the only horse on this list. He was born of Loki and a stallion named Svadilfari. Yeah, that's right, Loki didn't just have children with women. He had children with animals too. Anyway, Sleipnir was no ordinary horse. He was a magnificent eight-legged creature that was destined to become Odin's mount during Ragnarok. Odin saw how amazing Sleipnir was and asked Loki for him, but Loki refused to give him up. Odin wasn't taking no for an answer though, so he put Loki under a magic spell that made him change into a fly. Then Odin took Sleipnir and made him his own. However, during Ragnarok, Odin will leave his throne and ride Sleipnir into battle. The next child we have to talk about is Nari, the daughter of Loki and the giantess Rani. Like I said earlier, Loki had a lot of kids. One day, Thor was visiting Utgard, the realm of the giants, and met Narvi there. He asked Narvi to be his wife, and she accepted. They returned to Asgard together, where they lived happily ever after. Some sources say that Nari and Thor had 2 sons together, Thrud and Modi, who fought valiantly during Ragnarok. Thrud was killed by the giant Hrym, but Modi survived and lived on to have his own son, Magni. Lastly, we have to talk about Vali. Vali was the son of Loki and the goddess Kvasir. When Loki tricked the dwarves into giving him the hammer Mjolnir, one of the dwarves placed a curse on it. The curse was that whoever wielded the hammer would die within a year and a day. Odin claimed the hammer and gave it to his son Vali, who ended up dying exactly 1 year and 1 day later. Some sources say that Vali's death was a part of the prophecy of Ragnarok, but that's up for debate. All of Loki's children were incredibly powerful and dangerous. That's why the gods feared them so much. They knew that these children were destined to bring doom upon them and their world. From Hel's army of the dead to Fenrir's devouring of Odin and Thor, from Jormungandr's poisonous blood to Sleipnir's role in Ragnarok, each child played a part in the destruction of the Norse pantheon. But why did Loki have these children? Was he trying to bring about Ragnarok all along? Or was he just having fun? What do you think? Let us know in the comments below. And if Loki's secret children fascinated you, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more legendary tales from mythology. Now let's move on to the closing of the video. As we've seen, Loki's secret children were a constant reminder of the impending doom that awaited the Norse gods. But they were also a testament to Loki's power and influence. Even though he was a trickster and often caused chaos among the gods, he was still capable of great things. His children were powerful and respected, even by those who feared them. What do you think about Loki's children? Which one was your favorite? Let us know in the comments below. That's all for today, folks. I hope you enjoyed learning about the secret children of Loki. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more mythology content. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.